Hello and warm joining us today. I'm your host Dalvinder Kaur from lovely Professional University. We are excited to have you with us and look forward to an engaging and insightful session. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's topic, not a typical B.Tech. This one pays you back. Before we proceed further, allow me to introduce the experts of the day. Dr. Gurpreet Singh Sahi, Associate Professor and HOD, School of Computer Science and Engineering, Lovely Professional University. He specializes in cloud computing technologies, artificial intelligence, and more. Dr. Singh is dedicated to teaching graduate level courses and advancing knowledge through scholarly publications and conference presentations. So now I would like to introduce Mr. Abhishek Jha also on this webinar. Welcome, Mr. Abhishek. So now I would like to introduce our admission nominee, Dr. Kavisha Duggal, also in this webinar. She is Assistant Professor at Lovely Professional University. With over 10 plus years of teaching experience, Dr. Duggal is PhD in the fascinating field of gamification. Her impressive track record includes over 12 international publications with the Best Smart Education Award from the Ministry of Urban Affairs. Before we proceed further in today's session, I would like to request everyone for any questions you can write in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and same will be addressed from my side in the end of this webinar. Now I'm going to hand over this session to our expert, Mr. Abhishek, and it would be an absolute delight to listen from him. Over to you, Mr. Abhishek.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to the webinar where we are going to talk about a B.Tech program, not a typical one, but a B.Tech program that pays you back. Why we call it a B.Tech program that pays you back and how it is different from any other B.Tech curriculum or program that we compare across India that we run at LPU University, right? We'll talk about all the stuff we will deep dive into how it pays back, in what terms we are talking about when it comes to paying back when you join this B.Tech program at LPU, right? So moving ahead, I have broke down the whole webinar into three parts where we'll be talking about myths of the past. We will talk about myths which are still continuing in the present, and uh, many students go ahead without knowing that they are not going to get any result at the end, right? We will glance into the future. We'll talk about how future looks like when we talk about any tech background. We talk about B.Tech. We talk about any tech industry. We need to know how the future is going to look like, because admitting today into the B.Tech program, you graduate after 4 years, and the kind of innovations and the kind of rapid growth, exponential growth that industry is looking forward to, you might be not that much updated by that time, right? And college done the right way. How should, in today's era, in today's technology, in today's tech era, how the college should be actually done, right? So moving forward, career in engineering, we come across our friends that we want to, after 10th standard only they go ahead with physics, chemistry and mathematics, and the whole source of motivation is to do B.Tech, right? But we talk about B.Tech when we talk about with our parents, families, but we don't discuss that why we have to do B.Tech, why career in engineering. uh, I have interacted with many folk, thousands of students, and when I ask them that why do you want to do B.Tech, why do you want to build your career in engineering, the answer that I get is money. You get good money, you get scope, you have a lot more scope compared to any other field, you got a lot more of job availability in many other field, career perspectives and growth, right? So people are joining or building their career in engineering because of these four reasons. When I interact with them, these are the basic four reasons, right? But the question is, in today's time, are we looking at the career in engineering in the same way? Do we have that much of scope? Do we have that kind of job availability in the market? Do we have that kind of career which we think while taking admission, or inspiring for B.Tech? Do we have that kind of growth, right? Because if you have all four, then only you can expect the kind of money that we think of that a B.Tech career or a career in engineering can give you, right? So talking about that, I just want to understand how many of you feel that knowledge is power, right? Many of us have been hearing this for a long time now, that knowledge is power, knowledge is everything, right? But to give you an understanding, because this is the segment where we are talking about the past myths, right? in today's era, knowledge is not at all power. Knowledge is not only the power, right? If I have to give you with the make you understand with an example, if knowledge is power, right? If knowledge is power, then library should be the powerhouse of everything. Library should be the center powerhouse for everything. But contrary to that, when we look at the industry, when we look around, we see the people who run this industry, the big folks are Google, Chat GPT. They don't believe in power, but knowledge of implementing or ability to do something is power in today's era that we lack on. We only focus on getting knowledge, right? Getting theoretical knowledge, getting all the knowledge. Okay, this happens in this way, this happens in that way, this is why we are learning this. But when it comes to implementation part, when it comes to talking about ability to do, we lack there. And that's exactly we are not that powerful like previous era where knowledge is only the power thing, right? So the real world, when you talk about engineering real world, what you know is not important, but what you can do with that knowledge is something which is very much important. And then only it can yield you with all the results that you want in your favor, right? So when I talk about what you can do, I can simply term it as skills. You must be hearing that you should have this skills, XYZ skill sets for getting into particular technology or getting into a particular organization to work, right? That skills is nothing, but it's the what you can do with the knowledge that you have, how you can contribute to your team, to your company, to your projects, XYZ. And that is one of the important thing that now industry also looks up to. If you have skills, you have opportunities, and if you don't have skills, you have very less opportunities, which you won't like, right? That's why we've said, I mean, we have been seeing that almost around for all the folks that graduate from engineering ends up around 30-40% students ends up not working in the tech field. Rather they go ahead and do something else in other field. They might be doing well, but with the intention, with the motivation that they enter B.Tech, they are not able to achieve the target just because they have the knowledge but they don't know how to implement it, what you can do with that, right? They lack in the skills, right? So if I have to do a quick test, if I'll ask you that what is engineering is, you will tell me, I mean, this is engineering is all about tech, all about, right? It's a science, it's XYZ things. But in today's world, engineering is not just science, right? Engineering is not just science. Engineering is all about practice of science, how good you can practice, how good you can implement and get things done. And that's exactly when you look at the big companies like Google, Netflix, Meta, Amazon, Fanman, all companies that you look at, they have the people there have the ability to get things done. They have the knowledge, they know how to implement it, and they also have the ability to get things done, and that's why they're at the top of the line, right? So that's exactly what engineering is today's era is. You see a lot of startup coming in, you see a lot of, to give an example, you see Chat GPT now, different AI models coming up every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You come to know that okay, now this is also, now you can make a whole video with AI. Now you don't need anything, you don't need skills to make a video, but you just write a prompt and you get a video, right? In this way, people are developing, so much of innovation happening, so much of job roles getting opened in every sector of technology, but only for those who can, knows things how to get done, right? Who have a certain kind of skill sets. And that's exactly what engineering in today's world is, right? So if I have to sum up it, like skills means not only technical skills but also problem solving, critical thinking, and communication. When you join a tech company, when you are an engineer, you are a, your first thing that you do is you are a problem solver. You will have a lot of problem in front of you. You have to solve it with different types of tech skills that you have learned, right? Critical thinking, communication, four most important things when you're talking about career in engineering. You lack one of them, you don't get that kind of opportunity in the today's competitive industry that we are talking about, right? So two things are very clear, that knowledge is not power. Uh, Engineering is all about skills, only skills. Now, no one is going to judge you on your theory marks, but when you look for opportunities in the industry, it's only skills. If you are able to show them your skill sets, you are in, right? So that kind of competitiveness have come in the industry now, right? So, but one more thing is that knowledge is never wasted. I mean, It's not like that you learn something and it is of waste, no, right? But skills, when we talk about skills, because we have been discussing, the most important thing is skills can get outdated, right? To give you an understanding, I mean, all of you must have seen, or your parents must have told you that when we started with the mobile phone journey, right, there was a huge set of where you cannot take them with along with you, like you travel with your phone right now, right? And there was a gradual and drastic change in the telephonic industry, right? When you talk about the hardset, when you talk about the mobile phone, right? Now the technology that was used initially and the technology that is used today, that has a huge gap, right? So someone who only knows, who has the knowledge or the skill sets to work on the older sets and does not have the knowledge of current set, they won't get any opportunity in the current era, right? The example is just to bring you in notice that with technology brings growth. With technology you have to be parallel to the development that happens in the technology. If you are left behind, you are outdated, you won't be getting the top notch opportunities in the industry. So, but because your graduation is 4 years of long, it's a long period of time that we are talking about. You get into graduation in 2025, you get out in 2029. There are a lot of things which are happening in background when you talk about companies like Amazon, Meta, Google, Microsoft. Not only these, if you talk about high growth startups, big MNC established businesses, being outdated is the most risky thing that you can get into. If they also particular industry is looking for a particular technology, right, and you are outdated, you don't know about that, they will be least interested, right? And this is the biggest worry of today's era, right? In today's era, one thing which is trending right now, every company is working on it. After 4 years, you don't know, you might have to work on version 101 on that, right? So being outdated is the most riskiest thing right now, right? So now we know three things, which is knowledge is not power, engineering is all about skills. Skills can be outdated before even you graduate. For me, the third point is the most important point, guys, right? So these are the problems that we had talked about, right? But what to do? What is the solution? Solution is focus on skills, focus on doing things, focus on building things rather than just memorizing the theories, right? Learn how to unlearn and relearn. That will help you to be aligned with the new technologies that come up, right? You might be fantastic with a particular technology right now, you will be fantastic with particular subject right now, but there will be a big improvement, exponential change in that, and then you have to unlearn the previous learned thing and you have to relearn the new thing to be up to date with the industry, right? And pick a course. If you are feeling that how to do it, what to do, then pick a course that constantly updates not only its as itself but also updates you, right? And that's why we are here today at the webinar, uh, talk about Calvium LPU's Calvium B.Tech program. Yes, guys. So the problem that you are looking at today's age, right? You must be hearing the people are not getting jobs, people are difficulty in getting into these companies, getting placed XYZ at a very lower package. The three problem statements that we discussed leads to this kind of result. Now, for the solution, we are here at the webinar, which is LPU's Calvium B.Tech program, right? Now, to help you, what is that? So, this particular B.Tech program is designed by top tech leaders from around the globe, right? People who are contributing in the tech teams of Google, Amazon, Intel, Zerodha, Cred. You must have heard all these names, right? Those folks who are currently indulged in the technology sector, who knows what is about, what they are developing, what is going to be the future, they develop the curriculum of LPU's B.Tech program in collaboration with Calvium, right? Where you get to learn something which is utmost important, right? So that I will also take it to Calvium's impact. What is Calvium? How Calvium is putting that much impact that people are joining this program, right? So basically, Calvium students achieve 10 times better result than any other B.Tech students, right? If I have to bifurcate, it will be top placements, outstanding achievements, and future ready skills, right? So to talk about achieve placement, 25% of Calvin students are placed. I mean, this is a very less low number, right? 25% only. But 25% of Calvin students are already placed in third year. Final placements starts in fourth year, but Calvium's 25% students are already placed, have the pre-placement offer in third year, which is a very great number. which tells you, which gives you confidence about how industry is believing in LPU's program with Calvium, right? So if I have to talk about few, I mean, this is Balaji, who is a student at LPU who has secured placement in UK. People have placed in phone pay, and lot more folks who have been placed in different organizations, right? When we talk about exposure, which is very much important, in the 4 years you cannot just sit in the class and wait for 4 years to happen and then sit for interviews. When we talk about this B.Tech is a very dynamic field, right? You need to be exposed to global forums, you need to be exposed to the competitions, you need to be exposed to what exactly is happening in the industry, which you are going to enter after 4 years of your graduation, right? So LPU's Columbium program gives you a opportunity to participate in world class competitions like GSOC, where a first year student gets into it and bags a prize because of the skill set that he has, right? National level hackathon winners we have in our first, second year students that they do, right? So other than this, just a little bit of testimonial that
We all have mastered this art of fast learning. We can do it if we just try it. Hi, myself Shivangi. I'm from first year. I am doing B.Tech CSE in specialization of software product engineering and tie up with Calvium. Participating in the hackathon enhanced my collaborative skills in context of software engineering. Then we had a lot of conflicts in context of our code. Resolving those conflicts and getting like proper code reviews from our peers. People were giving open feedbacks to all the team members, so that created a safe environment and everyone was able to learn what they were doing wrong and what they can do right. And then I took the duty of getting everyone's code and compiling it and delivered products really quickly. Calvium model of learning is basically putting the powers in hand of students. I have learned a lot of technical skills really fast, and I have also learned a lot of life lessons from being in that environment. I've learned how to keep a growth mindset. That is one of the base principle of Calvium. Taking learnings from both, I'm looking forward to moving forward in the future and being a software developer engineer.
Right. This is what impact I'm talking about. That our first year students, rather than learning something which is irrelevant, learn something which is very much aligned with the industry and get such a confidence. They start coding and they compile and they have that kind of attention from the industry and from the global forum, which them help them to test their skill sets as well, right? And and this is another video.
It was just two lovers sitting in the car, listening to Blonde, falling for each other. Pink and orange skies, feeling super childish. No doubt, no clever. Missed call from my mother. Like, where you at tonight? Got no alibi. I was all alone with the love of my life. She's got glitter for skin, my radiant beam in the night. I don't need no light to see you shine. It's your golden hour.
All right. So that's exactly. But now the question arises: people are getting into internships, people are getting placed in third year, people are doing things which are supposed to be done in fourth year or final year, but they are doing it in first and second year. How exactly these students at LP are able to make this happen, right? So we at LPU's Kalvi program, we believe if you want to achieve something, achieve it like Virat Kohli, right? So if I talk about Virat Kohli, he didn't become Virat Kohli by reading these books. Rather, he have given consistently practical performances and practice at every level to become what he is right now. And that's exactly what Kalviam's program is at LPU, right? So it has 3-in-1 advantage, which is active practical learning. We don't believe in only theory learning, industry built curriculum, and real world exposure, right? So let's deep dive one by one what exactly this program offers and how the approach works, right? So we believe in active learning. So basically, if you want to learn swimming, you cannot learn swimming by just reading the guide, right? If you want to learn how to drive, you cannot just learn how to drive by reading the driving manual, right? You have to get into the pool to learn swimming, you have to sit in the driver's seat to learn the car, how to drive a car. In the same way, if you have to learn a technical skill, you need to learn it through doing it practically. So at Kalviam, the students majorly involved in practical learning rather than theory learning. In other colleges, if you look at 20% only will be practical, which will be basically labs. But here it is 80% practical. So student, whatever they learn in theory, they have to practice and implement it at industrial level to understand that why they are learning something and for what purpose and how it has to be implemented at industrial level, which helps them to learn the right things in a right way, which helps them to retain that knowledge for lifelong rather than just learning the theory of that technical skills that we are talking about, right? Secondly, that is one of the reasons that folks of our first year students are able to make such websites, which I think many of us were able to make in the fourth year. And this is only possible because of the technical, the approach of learning, which is practical learning, because our student does not only know the theory part, but also know how to make that implemented at practical level, right? So this is one of the examples. In the same way, we have multiple examples where our first year students who are still in first year have learned full stack development and at a level, at the end of the first year they are at a level we are able to build these websites. So all the websites that you are able to see right now, it's a gaming website, Basetex, XYZ, they are these websites are live and built by our first year students. I'm not talking about third year, fourth year students, but our first year students, right? So this kind of enablement this LPU's program provides you. Right. So this is the first thing. This approach is so beautiful and which has given enormous results in the past. Right. Second is industry built curriculum. As discussed, we have top tech leaders from different organizations around the globe, which helps us to understand what should be taught to our students and what we should how we should prepare them for future. Because as I discussed, four years of B.Tech provides a long time where the students can be outdated when it comes to skill sets, right? In the same way, to give you understanding, we don't teach our students physics, chemistry labs, engineering drawing, which does not even contribute to 0.1% for them to become or to have a career in engineering. Rather, so we don't teach any irrelevant subjects in this course. Rather, we have replaced this with something which is very much important to learn in today's era. Node.js, Monster, Docker, Postman, AWS, XYZ, different things. So in the first semester, the student will be learning front end. In the second semester, the student will be learning back end, and that's how whole full stack development he will be learning in first year only. And then second year, third year, fourth year, we have multiple specializations. We deep dive into more different skill sets that we learn, right? And we also believe not to study in a orthodox classrooms of rows and columns of bench and desk. Rather, we have this is a real picture. We have office like setup from very first year. So you don't even only learn things practically at industrial level, but also in an environment, in an ecosystem where you feel yes, like an office space, right? So that's how our students build, learn, relearn, unlearn everything, right? So, and from the very first year, our students are given that kind of overall development plus confidence, so that they can stand in front of the teams when they go out, when they are placed. They don't feel this is for the first time and they hesitate. So, from the very first year, they are being asked to present their projects in to whole of the class to the panelist, right? It's just not a written as submission project. You have to display the project, you have to make it run, you have to answer the questions, right? Like these two folks of our first year students who are doing in the same way, right? And the kind of mentorship that we talk about, that we don't we when it comes to guidance, we have a small batches where we are able to give them personalized guidance. We are focused on individual development, and we are not only focused on theory learning, but our main for majority focus goes on practical application on real world. Because ultimately when you graduate, you are not just on your theory, but the ability to do things is something that any company, any organization, any interviewer will judge you upon, right? And third, the real world exposure, where first of all we expose them to different software and tech stacks that are very much important in today's era, right? We also give every student of approx 1 lakh plus rupees softwares so that they can have hands on these softwares, and when they enter the industry, that software, the readiness that we talk about, how quickly you can start contributing to any project or for any organization is ready and is to 100% only through when we give them the opportunity to work on different tools, we give them opportunity to work on different softwares that currently industry uses, right? And exposure, as I discussed, we give them exposure to a beautiful competitive environment where they can participate in GSOCs, in different workshops and hackathons, right? We also provide them with the paid internships, right? Very correct, you heard it correct, it's paid internships. We have already students interning at Fortune 500 companies, which is big brands and big startups, right? Where students are doing internships and they are getting paid for that as well. There is no free internship at Calvium, only you will get paid internships at LPU's program of Calvium, where the idea is not to make you earn when you learn, but the idea is to make you understand how things work at industrial level. The idea is to make you understand how you have to contribute. Idea is to make you understand how to build real world projects, how to learn industry leading tools, hands on experience, right? And that is why we indulge our students into paid internship in this program, right? So when they graduate after 4 years, they already have a little bit of experience with them, which gives them edge over other students who do B.Tech programs, right? To sum up everything, so this is the basic difference when we compare LPU's Calvium's program with other B.Tech program. First is curriculum, which is industry design. Second is teaching. We are more towards one is to one student focused mentorship. Classroom, as I showed you, modern software dev environment. Specialization is dynamic and up to date knowledge, right? So specialization keeps on. We don't know what is going to come after 2 3 years when you are in second third year, right? We can't make you learn anything which is not at all required. Then we will change our specializations, right? Paid internships, paid technical SD level internships, and career that will give you a rocket career that you will get after doing this kind of program, right? So a small video. Let's hear from our VP what he thinks about this program.
See, I think we have a very interesting relationship with Calvium as a partner in our industry academy interface. I strongly believe that we have to work with the industry if we want to make a human resource which is relevant to the industry need. And I think Calvium, their work integrated program, and the whole team has worked very hard to ensure that this industry academia really fits into each other like hands and gloves. And I have my share of apprehension when we were starting the program. I was not sure that how this program is going to pan out and how it's going to look like or accepted by the students or also by the industry. But I tell you that I think this is one of the very interesting program that the university at our university at LPU we have been able to start. And I think the numbers are small, but I think that's perfectly fine. The numbers are small, but I think the impact is very, very strong. I have met a lot of students who are, almost all the students who are into the work integrated program by Calvium at LPU. And I tell you, when I meet the students, I talk to the students, they have a different perspective about how do they approach work and problem. So I strongly believe that through this work integrated program, they are getting the right skill knowledge, and also they're getting grounds when they're working in the industry as intern right after their first year. They're getting to learn the skills in the classroom, at the same time able to implement things in the industry as an intern, and hopefully they're going to get jobs much better than the peers, because by the time when they graduate after by finishing their 4-year programs, they would have at least 2.5 to 3 years of experience. And picture this, that there's a guy who was having a 3 years of experience right after the undergrad and somebody who does not have it. Who are you going to pick? I'm surely going to pick somebody who has that 3 years of work experience. So I'm sure it's a great model. It is definitely a demanding model. Student has to be really motivated to go through this grind of managing the job as well as the academia. But I think Canada, Waterloo University, and there are a lot of universities who are a strong promoter of this program, and we have seen their success. So I'm very optimistic and want to take this program to the next level. So we are trying to build this kind of program in all the various disciplines that university has to offer, because we are having some great feedback from the students.
That's exactly what we are talking about. So, as sir said that this is a demand right now, this is a need right now. And when we talk about someone, just compare, as sir said, just compare two folks who come from the practical learning approach, who have a better learning when it comes to tech stacks, and have an experience to coming someone coming from the normal B.Tech program. As a recruiter, as an interviewer, you have a lot of difference. You can see a lot of difference in their tech skills, right? And that's exactly how LPU Calvium student has an edge over different students when they come from any discipline in the B.Tech program, right? It's good to hear from the industry as well, right? We have the recruiters we talked about, whether Google, Microsoft, Aero, US. They have showed interest, they have showed belief in our students just because the kind of approach and learning these students get into, the kind of contribution that these students make, right? And from the students, right? So this is what we are talking about. This is about the Culmiums program, which pays you back not only in terms of placement, but not only in terms of uh, good placement, but also in terms of learning, in terms of what makes you the best professional in the tech industry, makes you earn from the very early age, gives you a head start, gives you learning in the technical skill set. When you talk about technical skills in a manner where you're ready for the new tech industry, when you're ready for AI, the whole AI generation, right? And that's how this whole B.Tech program pays you back, right? So thank you so much. If you have any questions, please drop in the inbox, and I would more than happy to answer those. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. So, Gurpreet is with us. Gurpreet is asking, how does this B.Tech program differ from traditional ones in terms of real-world industry integration and return on investment?
So that's a nice question. So when we compare, if I compare this program with any other traditional B.Tech program, the first difference is that you don't learn any irrelevant subjects like physics, chemistry in this, which is not required to learn when you want to work in the technology, when you want to work in the technology field. Secondly, this programs offers paid internship from second year. So you get into work with the companies in tech roles from very second year. So you get to have 3 years of experience when you talk about this program. Thirdly, the kind of approach that this program brings in is the practical approach of learning. So when you talk about B.Tech, it's going to be same as how we learn in school. Really, we have 6, 7, 8 periods in a classes in a day, and you will come out after learning a theory classes. In terms of practical, you will only have labs, right? Which you cannot term as practical learning when it comes to when you're comparing with the industry, right? So these three are the major differences. And when you talk about ROI, return on this investment, you give your 100%, the program's ROI is 200%, because you start learning from the very second year. You get to learn such a skill set which is very utmost important in today's era, right? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. I hope, Gurpreet, you got your answer from our today's expert. So Dilpreet is with us. Dilpreet is asking, how are skills in this B.Tech aligned with the high demand sectors, and how does the curriculum adapt to evolving market needs?
Very good question. As I mentioned in the session as well. So, first of all, when it comes to building curriculum with the changing environment in technology that we look upon, so we have a set of folks who work in these organizations, which is the big organization, which we call as the curriculum board, where they help us to understand and bring changes in the curriculum so that we are up to date when it comes to curriculum, what has to be edited, what has to be omitted, what has to be added into this, right? To give you an example, we have already added prompt engineering, we have added multiple machine learning courses, we have added multiple LLM, HLD, LLD courses in our program, which you will not even see in different curriculums, right? This is only possible because of the kind of people who are involved in building the curriculum with us. So that's how we keep ourselves up to date with the dynamic changing technologies.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abhishek. I hope all the participants got the answer from our today's expert. If anyone have any questions regarding the admissions, they just write on us at admissions@lpu.co.in, and you can do WhatsApp chat with us. Our WhatsApp number is 9852569000. I'm repeating the number. It's 9852569000. Once again, thanks to our today's expert, Mr. Abhishek Jha. As we come to the end of this webinar, I want to express my deepest gratitude to our experts for sharing their valuable insights and expertise with us. Your presence, enthusiasm, and active participation have made this experience truly special. Hopefully, the attendees found this webinar to be valuable and will be able to utilize the information for better decision making regarding admissions. If anyone wants to access this webinar again, they can visit our website, that is lpu.in, or can be accessed on YouTube also. Stay connected with us for future webinars. Until we meet again. With the permission of my seniors, I would be signing off this webinar. Take care and goodbye. Have a beautiful day.